Hello everyone. Today, I'm taking you and your taste buds to a faraway land with unique and wonderfully delicious different flavors that are almost as old as time. Herbs and spices that will intrigue and tantalize your taste buds and please your palate. This Asian restaurant is a local favorite and has been feeding the cravings of Las Vegas locals for over 10 years. And yet many probably never heard of it. You know you're in an authentic Asian restaurant when you're the only American and English as a second language. Today, we're taking you to Lat, a Vietnamese restaurant that has some of the most exotic and delicious cuisine in the city. And I'm not just talking about pho. There's so much to discover at this strange and beautiful culinary landscape. Many may not know that Vietnam and Thailand are cohabitants of the Indo-Chinese peninsula. Vietnam is on the east side, Thailand on the west, with Laos and Cambodia sandwiched between. After eating at Lat, it's obvious there are some shared elements found in both Thai and Vietnamese cuisine. Okay, well, let's get started. And the owners have a special offer for you, our viewers, so make sure to stay tuned until the end. We love fresh spring rolls and ordered two different versions, one with pork sausage, the other shrimp and pork, and they were both great. Most of us have tasted these in Thai restaurants. They're such a light and wonderful way to start off a meal. They're the healthy cousin of Chinese deep fried spring rolls. The difference is night and day. The wrappers are rice paper that have been softened in water, and the contents are bursting with fresh flavors and floral scents. Natural tastes from the amazing diverse plant life within the Vietnamese jungles and mountainous regions. Strange and unusual herbs such as paria leaves and Thai basil, along with pork sausage and/or shrimp and pork. Bite into them, and there's a surprise texture, a crispy wonton in the midst of the other soft elements. The pork sausage may look a little like Spam, but rest assured, tastes nothing like it. This sausage reminds me of the deep, rich, and complex flavors you find in a Chinese sausage. The peanut sauce on the side is a mixture of fish sauce and palm sugar. It's savory and sweet with a hint of spice. I can taste an almost curry-like quality to it. Dip the wraps into it, and they're transformed into a tropical and fresh explosion of flavor. These treats are a slice of paradise. Well, when I hear fried chicken wings, to my Westerner ears, I automatically think of brined, breaded, and deep-fried Southern style. This is anything but. It's been marinated in a wonderfully sweet and salty soy sauce, and the flavor is huge. It's positively stunning. I was told by our server, Ellen, to take a bite of it on its own first, without the lime, then add the citrus later. When you do squeeze the lime onto it, it takes on a totally different flavor. The outside skin is so crispy and intense, and the meat is really moist and fresh. This is a wonderful departure from fried wings. Unexpected flavors and textures abound. This is an appetizer you're going to love. I first fell in love with lotus fruit in my youth, while working in a Chinese restaurant. It was the food that we ate in the back. It never went out to the guests, because in those days, it was a bit too exotic for the local palate. Chef Rose pickled it and we ate it as a salad. I found it strange at first, but grew to love its floral taste and magnificent crunchiness. This salad is so light and healthy, sweet, tart, and with hints of spice and aromatic herbs. This is something that was invented in nature from the wild resources that flourish in the Vietnam countryside. Fresh lotus stems, cucumber, julienne carrots, fried shallots, Thai basil, fresh bird's eye chilies, and some of the freshest shrimp I've ever tasted. They give you this incredible sweet dressing on the side to pour over the salad. It's made of palm sugar and fish sauce. But they didn't tell me, I'd never guess it had fish sauce in it. It may sound strange, but this combination is so alive with flavor, it's addicting. If you love fresh Korean or Chinese pickles, then this is a dish you'll crave again and again after just one bite. Everything here is so fresh and natural, and the tastes are light and clean, yet complex and sophisticated. I just love this salad. This is a brilliant version of an old-time classic. The beef is fresh, and I love its bright color. You can almost taste it with your eyes. The chopped peanuts are a surprise and give this carpaccio an unexpected texture. The herbs, again, are another story. They're totally in keeping with the natural theme of this restaurant. The accompanying sauce has wicked hot chilies within, so you can have your carpaccio spicy or mild. Just be careful. These peppers are not for the faint of heart. They're bird's-eye chilies from Thailand, and they'll knock your socks off. So, if you're not into spicy peppers, leave them out. Either way, the sauce is truly magnificent and is a must-try. It's the ideal blend of acid, a hint of sweetness, and just the right amount of saltiness to liven up this dish without overpowering it. The herbs they use are minty, fresh, and surprising to the palate. Paella is a strange and wonderful flavor in here. Its minty freshness, along with the Thai cilantro and onions, are a match made in heaven, and give the carpaccio an unexpected taste. I love traditional carpaccio, and this version is every bit its equal and then some. I could have this anytime. These crepes are quite a departure from French-style crepes, although it was inspired from the French since they once occupied this region of the world. The skin of the crepe is a lot crispier and has a strong eggy flavor. It's made with rice flour, cornstarch, coconut milk, turmeric. It's very thin and crisp. I love how the crunchy exterior of the crepe dissolves when you put it in your mouth. It's filled with bean sprouts, cooked pork, and shrimp. They give you a ton of these strange and unique Vietnamese herbs to pair with it on the side. The paella I keep talking about is the one that's green on one side and purple on the other. It goes so well with this dish. You need to get your hands a little dirty when eating Vietnamese crepes. Cut off a small piece of your crepe and wrap it with a lettuce, cucumber, and your choice of these exotic herbs. Then dip it in this intoxicating sweet sauce. The combination is like nothing you've ever tasted before. I really love these crepes. Wow, these are some of the best pork chops I've ever tasted. The fat is truly amazing. You all know how I love my wok. Though these are not cooked in a wok, you can see them grilling on an open flame in the back. In fact, they never stop grilling here because people are constantly ordering this dish. The pork has been marinated in a very sweet and salty soy emulsion, and the taste is great with the bitter notes from the char. It's served with a wonderfully rich egg cake that's flavored with fish sauce and bean sprouts. Reminds me kind of an egg foo young. There's also shredded pork skin with boiled pork on top. The shredded pork skin is what you find in one of my new favorite Thai dishes, Nam Khao Thad. It's the element that gives it such a unique texture and taste. Take a little bit of the sauce they give you, the same wonderful, delightful fish sauce that comes with so many other dishes here, and mix it into your broken rice. It's all about playing with your food here and exploring different combinations. I love this broken rice. It's just what it sounds like. Rice with broken grains. And it's much different than the whole grain rice in both texture and flavor. I also love the sauteed green onions. They're not merely a garnish. They provide a sweet, aromatic flavor to everything they touch. Mix and match all the different elements on your plate. Everything they give you pairs perfectly, so you can't go wrong combining anything into a bite. I'm sure many of the elements on the plate may be an acquired taste, but this is the kind of food you're going to fall in love with if you're a foodie as I am. You'll find this spicy lemongrass chicken dish on the menu under rice dishes. It's accompanied by broken rice. I love lemongrass and curry. And this is a popular dish in Vietnam, made with coconut milk, yellow curry, and a lot of fresh, fragrant lemongrass. I love this dish. It's slightly sweet and a little tart. I would say that you get a powerful punch of spicy yellow curry, then a subtle hint of lemongrass. And for that reason, I consider this more of a curry dish. If you like curry as much as I do, this could very well be your favorite item here. It's so perfectly seasoned. The chicken is very fresh, tender, and juicy. It goes perfectly with the broken rice. I wasn't sure what to expect with this dish, but Lat knocked it out of the park on this one. Though invented in the United States at the famed Hawaiian restaurant Trader Vic's, They've managed to make this crab rangoon their own here. I love the fact that they don't make it in the traditional shape you normally see. I'm pretty sure there's real fresh crab in these as well. It certainly doesn't taste like imitation. The sauce is wonderful and homemade. It's sweet and spicy and goes so well with the creamy filling and crunchy fried wonton exteriors. This has always been one of my favorite dishes, and I wasn't let down today. Delicious. The fried pork rolls arrive to your table hotter than the sun, so be sure to let them cool a minute before biting into them. The filling is an amazing ground pork with garlic, chilies, and other Vietnamese spices. It's one of my favorite things here. Crunchy, salty, porky goodness. They're great on their own.
But wait, there's more.
The best part of this appetizer is you get to play with your food and create your own flavor combinations. The herbs they give you make this dish really special. They give you lettuce leaves to wrap around the pork roll and a mountain of basil, mint, and paella, as well as other sides including shredded carrots, cucumber, and tomato. It's up to you to decide how many or which herbs and sides you wish to include. Then dip your creation into this fantastic homemade sauce. They're wonderful. As I look around the crowded little restaurant, I see almost everyone is eating this dish. You see mostly Vietnamese people and just a few Westerners here. That's how you can tell the food is authentic. That's how you know this is not a tourist trap, as a number of prominent restaurants in Chinatown have become, attracting local swarms of yuppies and roaming wannabe foodies. Lat, well, this is the real deal. This noodle soup is one of the dishes for which the Vietnamese are so well known. This rich, spicy bone broth, so packed with flavor, it would be great just on its own. The soup is made with beef shank, tendon, pork loaf, and blood sausage. When's the last time you had a meal with those four foods, let alone all being found in a single soup? If you're not adventurous, they make a tamer version with just the bone broth and beef shank. I grew up in an Italian household where my mother made us tendon, and I learned to love it. The noodles, while not homemade, are a wonderful texture and have a beautiful chew to them. They recommend you mix in the herbs, jalapenos, bean sprouts, and limes. I'm mixing in the mint and Vietnamese basil. I love the aromatic flavors they impart into the soup. I also like that these greens are added late in the game, so to speak, and so they don't have a chance to get soggy, yet they still impart a huge amount of flavor. Very clever, but above all, delicious. Just with the mere thought of this dish, and I'm already planning my return trip. And with one taste, my expectations have been surpassed. These are some of the most delicious Vietnamese short ribs you'll ever have the pleasure of putting in your mouth. The meat is uber tender, and the deep, dark, rich umami-ness is overwhelming. They have that fantastic charred, almost burnt flavor that you get from barbecuing them over an open flame. When you bite into them, the meat just falls apart and melts in your mouth. This is a wonderfully tender beef dish that's not to be missed. No sauce is needed for the short ribs. In fact, I recommend eating them in their naked, unadulterated form. They come with this wonderful broken rice. As before, make sure to pour a little of this tangy, sweet fish sauce over the rice. It's a marriage made in heaven. Okay, yet another dish not to be missed when you come here. I remember about 7 or 8 years ago, the Banh Mi sandwich was all the rage. The Food Network was heralding it as the sandwich of the year, and almost every mom and pop sandwich shop in LA was making some version of it. Here, they warn you that it takes about 30 minutes to make after ordering, since they bake the bread in-house. The Vietnamese are experts in the baking of French bread, since they were once occupied by the French. The beautiful architecture that remains from those days is still on display when touring Vietnam. You can also taste the French influence in the food. This sandwich can be ordered with either pork, chicken, or beef. We went with the pork, and it's been char grilled to perfection and has a fantastic flavor. And the wait for the bread, worth every minute. I'm a sucker for excellent bread, and this is right up there with some of the best I've had in Vegas. I'd come back to Lat just to get more of this fantastic bread. Well, this is right up there as a contender for dish of the day. The broth is very rich and full-bodied. Lots of stewed beef, carrots, and onions in a very savory sauce that's in between a soup and a gravy. You can taste Chinese five-spice in the background of this dish, and it's served either with egg noodles, rice noodles, or their wonderful fresh baked French bread. We opted for the French bread. I can't imagine ever giving up a chance to have their bread. I didn't even have to think twice on that one. I could eat this bread all day. And the beef? Crazy good. Tender, but with just the right amount of fight, and packed with flavor. I really can't say enough about this dish. I was dreaming about it days later. It's recommended that you break off and dip the hot bread into the stew. I totally concur. This dish is the ultimate comfort food and reminds me of a wonderful hearty French stew with an Asian twist. Order this when you come here. You'll be thanking us when you do. We're so glad that we found Lat. It's an unassuming little place that we've passed by many times, practically didn't even notice it. If not for some of our Vietnamese fans, we probably would have never gone here. But many of you recommended it and insisted we try it, and I'm so glad we did. The food here is unique, fresh, and delicious. There wasn't anything we had that I wouldn't gladly order again. I know sometimes we're accused of being cheerleaders and we have only good things to say about a particular restaurant. But when everything you have tastes good, what's a reviewer to do? Today there were several contenders for Dish of the Day. The bold and unique take on beef carpaccio, or the strident, spicy, and deliriously delicious Lotus salad. Or maybe the tender, succulent, and perfectly charred beef short rib. Or even the Banh Mi sandwich with a fabulous French bread. Well, they were all terrific. However, today, as you probably already guessed, given our previously glowing words, the dish of the day is the beef stew. Such a perfect marriage of flavors and textures coming together to make the ideal bowl of comfort food, as well as a great excuse to get more of that bread. Well, either way, there's something at the Lat for everyone. Don't be put off by the exotic nature of the food. It's well worth the trip, and you'll be happy you came here. Now, about that special offer we told you about at the beginning of the video. Mention that Let's Eat Vegas sent you, and receive 10% off your entire bill. That's a great offer. It's available until January 31st, during the hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Well, we'll be back to the Lat soon. Who knows? Maybe you'll see us there.
Don't forget to tell them Let's Eat Vegas sent you.
I know we're all guilty of watching YouTube videos and not participating. Please like, comment, subscribe, or even become a VIP member. It means a lot to us, and it helps us grow and to bring you more reviews. Until we eat again, bon appetit.